Hello everybody, I'm Ard, and welcome to another episode of Minecraft Enigmatica 2 Expert. Last episode, we made all of the pieces for a void ore miner, and today I think it's time to actually set it up. But to start with that, we need to dig a deep hole all the way down to bedrock. So let's just get started. Alright, so I think I'm going to put it back here on the other side of this pathway, across from the Botania platform, just because this is going to be near where I'm going to put the power long term, so it should make it easy to plug in over here. So I think this is where we're going to put it, somewhere here. And did I say I didn't need all of those reinforcements I was getting previously out of loot chests? I lied. I needed to make an indestructible hammer to help dig this hole. So time to get started. And one tunnel all the way down to bedrock dug. So I got lucky, I didn't run into any crevasses or any lava all the way down. So that was easy. That said, I learned a couple things while doing this. One, if you're going to make a paper hammer, maybe don't start by making a paper hammer because it has a speed of 0.2. It takes forever to dig the hole. Maybe start by, I don't know, getting some experience on a hammer that actually works. This took longer than I want to admit to because I was too stubborn just to go make a different hammer. 2, I made a dank null finally, and I forgot to mention it. I made it a little while back actually. And the way the dank null works is you shift click it when not aimed at a block, and it opens up its inventory. And as you can see, it stores an awful lot of materials and up to really large slots. I can't remember exactly what the max on the diamond one is, but it's pretty sizable. And you can switch between them by holding shift and rolling the mouse wheel. So you can switch between the materials and you can place them that way. That said, there's no easy way to extract them out in this pack. There is a base that these things go into that normally you can extract things out of, but it was removed because it was actually being too powerful and people were using it as storage instead of, building an actual storage system. So that's not great. But I've got up to the diamond one. The diamond one's pretty easy. It's just 5 of these, which is just a whole bunch of coal and diamonds. So at the point we're at, this is pretty easy. So the next step is to put the void miner together. And the void miner is, once you've got it, it's pretty easy to do. So you start by falling down a hole. Okay then. You start by placing it where you want it to be, facing down at the piece of bedrock you want. So in this case, I'm gonna put it up, let's put it up a couple. Let's put it up here, I think. And then you just put it there. And let's pop these out. Then you take your assembler and you just start right clicking the void miner, and it puts it all together for you. Oh, I didn't put it up high enough, so I'm gonna have to go dig a hole. Okay, and after I cleared out a little bit of space, now I've got it in here. If I'd put it a couple higher, it would have been more obviously placed. There would have been a gap. But let me go duck down here to show you what's going on. If I go down into this hole under it, you can see that there's now a beam all the way down to bedrock. And now all I have to do is give power to this. Also be aware that if you do screw up, you can't remove it without being able to mine out glow glass, which I don't have yet because I've just been lazy about making it. So all you have to do is hook power up to the miner controller as per normal and put a chest next to it for it to extract out to, or pipe materials out of it however you want. So next I need to figure out how I'm going to move power over here, which shouldn't be too hard. I'm just going to have to tunnel it out here somewhere and then hook it up. Probably put a decent sized battery into it to see how quickly it's draining it. And then we'll see if it's hitting my power supply too badly and I have to go do something about that. Because that's the real danger of doing this, is that I just might not have enough power. Okay, I decided just to live with this for now, and I decided not to hook it up to my main power grid, just do it ugly right now, and hook it up to 12 mechanism wind generators. Because they're actually really simple to make at this point. The big thing is it just requires the windmill from immersive engineering, which we've done before, and this is all just a bunch of treated wood, which we had tons of. So this was really easy to slap together. So I just made 12 of them, which is almost exactly enough to power the void miner. It produces slightly more than the 4,000 RF a tick it takes to do this, so the battery will eventually slowly fill up, but it's going to take a while. I have it piping out into an ender chest here. As you can see, ore is very slowly coming out. It takes about 400 ticks for ore to be created, so this is not going to be very quick at this pace, but it will dump things out over time. but at least right now it's not eating up my whole power grid, which is what I was trying to avoid by doing this. Because honestly, I really probably need to build out more power, because this is actually chewing through quite a bit at a time at 4,000 a tick. I mean, in theory, my base can support that, but I'm not sure what that would do to my supplies long term. So better safe than sorry for now. Alright, so you might notice that I changed the color of the buttons on the ender chest. They now match the one inside my sieving operation, that it's hooked up to the pulverizer to process platinum. Because you can see the pieces for the tectonic petroleum in here. You also see a couple pieces of the ore, because I don't have everything properly filtering into the system yet for proper ore multiplication, because there's things I hand up to handle special situations for, like the coal ore, which will turn into coal, which will then try to get fed into a furnace to turn into graphite, which I don't actually want. I'd rather just kick out the coal and then I can manually process it later. So I need to fix all of these. I need to deal with them as we get them, and that'll take a while. I think what I want to do at this point is make an enclosure for this, because while it's not stuck in the ground, which isn't quite what I originally intended, I still think I like the look of that overall. But what I don't like is how it's just sitting out here like this, right in the middle of nowhere, and it's just nothing. Well, for something I did completely off the cuff, with no prior planning, this actually turned out pretty good, I think. I like it, at least. I could have done a little bit better texturing on the walls, at least with the stone, to vary that up some and not make it all this diagonal slanted one, but there's not that much in it that it bugs me. And this really doesn't need to be that big, because really it's just an enclosure for the void miner itself. The only problem was I ran out of basalt part of the way through, so as you can see, all these stairs aren't finished, so I need to go back and go get some more basalt out of my mine somewhere. I saved one block to go toss in the scanner so I can go find more easily. But overall, I'm actually pretty happy with the aesthetics of this place. Except for the fact that I'm going to have to fly to get up to the chest if I ever have to get up here, but again, that's not exactly a problem. Alright, I'm incapable of not tinkering. I added another row of windmills, and yet it still doesn't actually seem like this is enough power to keep the void miner going full time. If you look at this, it just seems to be holding steady, but if we come in here and look at the void miner isn't actually maxed out in power. It's drained the whole thing. I don't know how this maps. It's supposed to be a direct FE to RF 1-to-1 ratio. And if you look at these wind generators, they do seem to be going 360 RF a tick. So this should be more than enough with 16 of them here. So I don't know what's going on. I'm a little stumped at this point. But it is kicking things out and it is working, so I guess I'm gonna just call this good for now. I also cleaned up the cables and hid everything. You can still sort of see it in the leaves above, but I also like spaced this out a bit better and terraformed the ground a little bit. So it looks a little better now, at least. I'm happier. And as always, I'm Ard. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.